Space Jam. This film is an incestuous marriage of childhood nostalgia and shameless commercialism. Teaming up icons Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan, two of the greatest sellout marketing whores of all time, to hawk heart disease burgers and sweatshop tennis shoes. By the way, this video is brought to you by Paid YouTube Legends. Paid YouTube Legends is a dark satirical RPG where you play as a has-been YouTuber that has to grit his teeth and take advertising dicks up his ass in order to pay his bills. Oh, wait. That's just my life. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Space Jam. Fucking Space Jam. Space Jam is actually based on a series of Nike commercials from the 90s that teamed up Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny to sell overpriced sneakers to underintelligent people. The movie is essentially just a 90-minute version of these commercials, and it feels like it.
Come on, Michael, it's game time. Get your Hanes on, lace up your Nikes, grab your Wheaties and your Gatorade, and we'll pick up a Big Mac on the way to the ballpark.
Product placement is beyond rampant, the jokes are beyond lame, and the domestic scenes with Michael Jordan and his family are the most cringe-inducing saccharine drivel you've ever suffered through in your entire goddamn miserable life. Space Jam is a 90-minute commercial. It's a 90-minute commercial. 90-minute commercial. To all the people out there who like this movie and start defending its supposed merits to me whenever I talk shit, just want you to look in the mirror and come to absolute grips with the fact that what you are defending to me is, in fact, a 90-minute commercial, and a particularly artless and crass one at that. Where do I begin with this flummoxing pile of corporate shit? Let's start with Michael Jordan himself. To call him a bad actor is a grave insult to bad actors. Michael Jordan is not a bad actor. He simply is not an actor. His performance is about as convincingly authentic as a Jimmy Fallon laugh. Yeah. Stop laughing, you vacant twat. Nothing was funny. You know how I know that nothing was funny? Because you're Jimmy fucking Fallon. Look at this shit. Michael Jordan just got sucked through a golf hole and encountered real-life Looney Tunes characters in the center of the earth. And his reaction is...
What's going on here?
Well, he doesn't have one. The Looney Tunes themselves all just feel wrong. The voices feel wrong. The timing feels wrong. The jokes feel wrong. And why do they live in the center of the earth? Is this hell? I guess the marketing department at Warner Brothers decided the Looney Tunes were too much of a sausage fest. So they decided to create a new female Looney Tune called Lola. Her personality is, now she's a girl. Bugs Bunny wants to fuck her. I mean, Jesus. God damn it, Space Jam. You got us fapping to fucking goddamn rabbits. Why did you do this to us? I just want everyone to know, every time you see some dork dressed up as a second-rate mascot to go get fisted in a queen-size bed at the Hyatt Regency after the fursuit parade, Space Jam did it. By the way, I'm in room 706 if anyone's got big fists. I need my medicine. Don't judge me. I saw Space Jam when my brain was still developing. I saw Lola. One thing led to another, and now I need to go to the hospital, get this wine bottle removed. Seriously, though, Lola is probably the best thing about this movie. Not because she's a great character, because she isn't. Not because she's crucial to the plot, because she isn't, and there isn't one. But because you can fap to her. Might not be much, but the bar is that low here, folks. And if you're thinking to yourself, I could never fap to a cartoon rabbit, then I have to ask, have you ever really tried? What else happens in Space Jam? I guess I could tell you the plot, then my brain is probably going to melt a bit trying to get through it. The Looney Tunes enlist the aid of Michael Jordan to help them defeat a team of alien basketball players called the Monstars. If the Looney Tunes lose the game, they will become slaves at a theme park called Moron Mountain, run by Danny DeVito. So you see, the aliens The aliens, no. There's other plot details. I'm not going to bring myself to recount them. It's painful. It's all painful. Go read a fucking synopsis if you honestly give a shit. And while you're reading that synopsis, ask yourself why you care and reevaluate what you're doing with your life. I cared enough to record this review, which I wrote at 4 a.m., and look at me. Don't be like me. Aim higher. Have some aspirations. Have some self-goddamn respect. By the way, did I mention Space Jam is the highest grossing basketball movie of all time? Yeah, fun little trivia for you. After about 50 minutes of pure filler, the big game that's been built up the whole time finally goddamn happens. And I suppose I can admit that, at least compared to the rest of the commercial, commercial, it's not that bad. But mostly that's because by now your brain has comfortably settled into a revolting pile of useless mush, and you can almost enjoy yourself, but only almost. The soundtrack is awful. Worst kind of 90s sports anthem, inspirational, soulless, upbeat party pap you could ever fucking imagine. Listening to any single track makes me want to go take a long shit, because the sounds coming out of my ass would probably be more pleasant. R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly is featured prominently, proving that before he raped all those girls, he raped America with his goddamn awful music. And look, I'm not diminishing the plight of his victims. I'm just saying that really, aren't we all the victims of his terrible music? The answer is yes. And if you're in the comments section right now defending R. Kelly's music, might I recommend a more worthwhile use of your time, like giving your toaster a bath? The main theme, also titled Space Jam, is a jam that should be launched into space, never to return. Actually, I take that back. Alien civilizations might perceive it as an act of war, and they'd be justified. What else do I hate about this movie? I hate that the film portrays Michael Jordan as living in a nice house in an idyllic and quaint American neighborhood, when really, at the time, he lived in a 56,000 square foot mansion on 7 acres of private land behind an iron gate with a giant patio, his own putting green, a stocked fishing pond, a basketball court, a full home gym, an expansive wine cellar, a tennis court, and many other luxuries. Why couldn't this movie just be honest? Do they think we'd find Michael Jordan less relatable if we saw the lavish luxury in which he lives his day-to-day life? That makes no sense. First of all, this is America, where people see excess and think, I gotta get me some of that, instead of, wow, that's fucking disgusting. Second of all, Michael Jordan is not relatable. He has the emotional range of a jellyfish, at least if this movie is any indication, the athletic prowess of a god, and more money than the Federal Reserve. Putting him in a suburban neighborhood with a bulldog and a bland family to have bland family dynamics with is not going to overcome those relatability hurdles. The fake humility of this depiction is sickening if you take it seriously. And it's just plain silly if you don't. What else do I hate about this malignant turd at the base of the spine of cinema? Well, check out this scene with Porky Pig.
Boo.
I wet myself.
God, does that joke suck? And it sucks on so many levels. First of all, I don't want to imagine Porky Pig pissing himself, because he doesn't wear pants, right? He doesn't appear to be anatomically correct. What does he piss out of? Does he have a secret dick hidden somewhere? Does he have a cloaca like a goddamn crocodile? I don't want to contemplate these questions. Why is Space Jam making me contemplate these questions? Second of all, even if he does have a dick, how could he wet himself? As previously indicated, he doesn't wear pants, so the piss would just splash onto the ground. If your dick is out and you piss, you're not wetting yourself, you're just taking a piss. Third of all, this isn't even how a Porky Pig stutter joke is supposed to work. The best Porky stutter jokes are the ones where you think he's going to say one thing, but then he chooses an alternate phrasing when it becomes clear that he just cannot get the word out that he wanted to.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Fourth, and finally, Porky Pig pissing his pants, or his lack of pants, is not funny. Maybe I'm being unfair here. Maybe the robust comedic possibilities of pissing yourself jokes were ruined for me by the abysmal Garbage Pail Kids movie.
Okay, so the joke there was supposed to be that Nat Nerd, this grotesque character that you see before you from the abysmal, in fact, legendarily abysmal Garbage Pail Kids movie, repeatedly pisses his pants in that movie. And I thought it'd be easy to find a clip, but it's not. And I'm not going to go scouring for it because who really gives a shit? But that's the joke, so yeah.
But I don't think I've ever found a pissing your pants joke funny. But if you are going to do a pissing your pants joke, at the very least, do it with a character that wears fucking pants. None of the jokes in this movie are funny. And yeah, humor is subjective. But I can tell you that I, personally, never laughed once watching this garbage. Nor did I at any point chuckle, smile, or even internally think to myself, that joke was amusing. Actually, I'm lying. Michael Jordan's complete non-reactions did occasionally make me laugh, but that's not laughing with the movie. That's laughing at the movie. When the pinnacle of your comedy film's humor is guffawing at how inept the lead actor is, you've made one unforgivable piece of shit. Now, I understand this movie is old. Therefore, some people view it through the rose-colored lenses of nostalgia. But being nostalgic for this movie is like being nostalgic for 9/11. There's nothing good about it to remember fondly. There's no magical movie-going experience to relive here. When you were a kid, Warner Brothers tricked you into watching a 90-minute commercial with castrated versions of beloved cartoon characters from the golden age of animation. If you're still falling for it in 2020, you need to spend 7 years in a cave doing some deep, meditative introspection. Or you could just take some mushrooms. I don't know. So let me be fair here. Is there anything good about this movie? Well, no, there isn't.
I wet myself.